So it's Ty. It's the day before the premiere of Sweet Home Alabama. This is season 3, right, Paige Duke?
Yeah, season 3.
And this is your second time being a part of the show.
It is. I was a contestant on season 2, and it was a version of The Bachelor, and so this season is like The Bachelorette, so I'm the one choosing.
You get to narrow down all these guys. And, oh man, it's so hard because I think, you've already gone through the whole experience,
Yes.
right? So you know how it plays out. Mm-hmm. You know if you ended up in love or not.
Yep.
Okay. I'm like looking in her eyes trying to see. I don't think she did. I don't think that she ended up in love.
Poker face.
Okay, well, you're doing well so far. But what I was wondering is, as like the person that's going into it on season 2, there's going to be a little bit of anxiety, maybe, or like nerves because you've never done a show like this before. But was it more nerve-wracking, do you think, to go in as one of a collective group of women vying for the attention of one guy? Or is it more nerve-wracking to be the one girl that everyone is paying attention to all season?
It's a different kind of nerve-wracking for each. Last season, I actually knew the guy. We went to college together.
That's right. You and Tribble were like buddies?
Tribble and I were buddies. We were friends.
Yeah.
We'd hang out at the bars downtown. And so it surprised me when I found out it was going to be him. I was like, well, I already know this guy.
Right.
So we've always been just friends, but why not see what can happen? Who knows?
We're friends. But so was it weird to like know that this was now turning into a romantic avenue?
It was nice because I already knew him. I could be myself. I felt like a lot of the girls were coming in this nervous and then nervous because they're meeting this guy.
Did you have a crush on him ahead of time?
No crush on him.
So is that weird for someone to think, well, there was no chemistry before, but now there has to try to be?
Well, it's not that it has to try to be, but I was willing to give it a shot. And I was like, well, there's got to be a reason I'm here. And so it ended up there wasn't any chemistry. But it wasn't as nerve-wracking just because I knew him. Not even in that moment. That's kind of what sealed the deal. That's why we're like, send Paige home.
Yeah? Because you were like,
we're just
that was weird.
That was weird.
Okay. But this season, any sparks?
Yes, definitely.
More than one person sparks?
Yes, there are. And,
is it okay to ask that?
Yeah, that's okay to ask that. Because, well, you feel silly going on saying I'm looking for love because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Right.
And so I was nervous for this season because I wanted to do a good job and not disappoint anyone, yet I wear my heart on my sleeve. And if I'm not feeling somebody, I can't pretend.
So you didn't want to hurt the feelings of the people that were there trying to get your attention.
But
you knew the whole time you'd have to be.
But I wanted to make a good show. I wanted it to be real because I think that comes across on camera and you can see when someone's genuine, and I didn't want to be fake, and so I was so scared I wasn't going to like any of the guys because I'm really picky. But then I sat down and thought about it. I was like, this is the ultimate eHarmony. You have a set of casting directors going through thousands of applications and finding the guys you're going to like. They do all the work for you.
Yeah, but now everyone watches as it plays out, as opposed to like, well, it didn't work out. You know, here, we'll split the bill and I'm bouncing now.
Yeah.
All of America, all of the world gets to see awkward moments happen.
Yes, see awkward moments and loving moments and fun moments and all these emotions you experience that you don't expect to experience because you're there with no access to outside world, no radio, TV, internet, phone, nothing. And so all you have to do is focus on this. You ask all these questions, and so you're like constantly second guessing yourself. You're like, oh, why do I feel that? Why is this going on? It's just like playing.
Is it mentally just draining? Like, do you have a day where you're like, I just want to sit down all day?
It's emotionally draining. Yeah, I cried so many times, and I'm not a crier. And I was like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, no, that's not your fault. That's what TV does. It just like puts all this stress on you. But I don't know if we've even mentioned this for people who aren't familiar with the show. It's you. Is it 12 guys total?
22.
22 guys. Okay, so 11 of them are country boys, allegedly. They're categorized as country boys, and 11 are like the city boys. Prior to the show, do you have like a type? Do you have like a country fetish, or do you go for like the city boys?
Well, obviously I'm very country, and anyone who listens to me talk can tell that. I'm from Lancaster, South Carolina.
Yeah.
But I've traveled the country with NASCAR and gone to all the big cities, and I love the cities too. So I wanted the best of both worlds, and it's not really set up like that because, like you said, it's country versus city. It's based off the show Sweet Home, or based off the movie Sweet Home Alabama, where Reese Witherspoon's torn between a country guy and a city guy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can find one that's like in the middle like me because I don't want to be stuck in the sticks, you know, for the rest of my life, but I don't want to also be in the city.
So there is that in the back of your head. You're like, I kind of want
the opportunity
to be in a place where there's the rest of life is happening.
Yeah, but I want to be in the country, but near a city.
But what about in the past, like before the show, where you weren't worried about like, well, if I end up with this guy, here's where I'm going to go? Who did you usually date?
I haven't had many boyfriends, honestly. But,
How many?
3.
Okay.
And haven't had a boyfriend in 3 years, but I've gone on dates with lots of guys.
And would you say
honestly, they've mostly been
city,
but live in cities, but have the country morals, country
gentlemen
values.
from the city.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I like
or
to fancy myself that.
From a small town and live in a city now. Kind of like,
sure.
Yeah.
So they can relate to you, but at the same time, you're kind of intrigued by that city boy thing. Who would I remind you of any of the contestants who we can all see, I think, at cmt.com if you go to the Sweet Home Alabama page.
They're posted up now.
Yeah. I mean, I know we've only known each other for 7 or 8 minutes.
Well, you're from South Dakota,
but
you live in a big city now.
No, I do, yeah.
And there's a guy from North Dakota who lives in Nashville, you would remind me of, and then one from Minnesota who lived in LA
what are their
part
names?
of the time.
When we go look, what are their names?
Donnie Fallgater is the Nashville guy, and Jeremiah James Korf is the Minnesota guy who's lived in LA some. And y'all kind of have the same vibe, I'd say.
Okay.
You know, from a rural place with nothing there. Yeah, it's a great thing. Right. You know, you're from the middle of nowhere, but look where you're living.
I'll be honest, there was one guy on the page that I saw, and I was immediately like,
which one?
I don't want it. I just did not want. I don't remember his. It was kind of a weird name. I just know that if you said it to me, I'd remember it, and I'd be like, oh no, not that guy.
Don't say that. That's bad.
It was a guy with. I think it was because he had blue eyes, and like he used to be a model and stuff. Marcello, that is what it is. Okay. No, I was like, I don't want to be that guy.
No.
All right, so I'm not a model. Do have blue eyes.
Sorry, you're not a model. Please don't categorize yourself as that.
No, I do not.
Thanks for radio. I'm just kidding.
As we do this video interview, oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Brad over there, can you just cut off? I probably am literally blushing. Just cut off the side of the video with my. Just put up like a cartoon version of me.
Just kidding.
Oh, Paige, did you do this to the guys the whole season?
Yeah, I had to. It's fun.
That's the thing. And the interesting part is that I, as a city boy, I guess I would say I'm a city boy. Would like I like a country girl. I like somebody with a southern accent. Yeah. I always have too.
Oh, are you hitting on me?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but not now because you already were like, you're ugly and all that stuff. So I know I'm out of that. But I really do. I find myself like interested. I like learning about the other half of our country, kind of. You know, the things that I didn't grow up as.
From a small town.
I'm from a small town, but it's a Yankee town. You know, it's like they call us Yankees.
The Dakotas is not Yankee. That's the Midwest.
I guess not. No. But we still have the weird accent, and we don't. You guys eat more like casserole and cornbread.
I call my shopping cart a buggy.
Yeah, you call your shopping cart a buggy. You're fixing dinner and fixing to go places, and and I don't do any of that. Mom and them, or I'm going to go over and see Mom and them. Do you say that?
No.
The Mom and them?
No.
Oh, I hear that down in Arkansas all the time. Mama's another thing. All right, so I feel like the other side is very interesting. So no matter who's watching this show, that's the cool part about Sweet Home Alabama is you can either relate to somebody who's like you, or you can watch to try to find out what that other half is like.
Right, and it is a love story, and you get to see that unfold. But you also have this competition between country and city guys, and so you're not only having your favorite guy, you're pulling for country or city, and so that's fun to watch. And stereotypes are funny, and so
agreed, 100%.
You know, that's what happens. They come in these huge city slinger guys who are just jerks, and then your redneck down home country guys. It's funny.
Right.
It's like so much more entertaining than anything else, just because you can laugh at it.
What was one of your favorite moments this season? You don't have to say who the guy was, maybe, but or if you can, then go ahead. But just a moment, a memory that you have that we'll all look forward to.
Yeah, well, we had amazing dates. And it's not like The Bachelor where you're flown to these tropical places and it's beautiful and you're like, how can you not fall in love? We were going into swamps, shooting bows and arrows, playing paintball. I got to ride horses on the beach, which is probably one of my favorite dates because I've always wanted to do that. I love to ride, but I've never gotten to at the beach. And then riding in tractors for some of my dates, and then going to a big city.
Jason Aldean's just playing in the background.
Yeah, big green tractor.
That's awesome.
So it was all just a fun experience. And
are you being difficult, or you just forgot the question?
I didn't forget.
I want to know the best moment.
I can't think of the best moment.
Well, what's one that just stuck in your head?
Maybe the finale. Probably when I chose the guy. That's the most special.
Okay, you don't have to tell us who it was. But what was it about that moment that made it so good?
That it could finally be said, and it wasn't like I was trying to go after other guys.
How long did you know beforehand?
Finally tell them. I don't know. It just kind of grew as the show went on, and then you were worried because you don't know the other guy's feelings. So even if you have these feelings, well, what if this guy's not showing you, but yet another guy has these strong feelings for you, and you're like, well, maybe I should like him. Maybe I should be smart about it.
Maybe there's no chemistry over here.
Yeah, but I'm putting it in my mind that there is. So it's a crazy thing.
So it was just that validating moment where you could see in his eyes he was there too.
It was like, because it was so real to me. And even though, you go on these shows, you say to find love. People do, but you don't know who you're going to meet. So you can't have those expectations. And I didn't want anything to be fake. And so I was like, well, if there's a 1% chance that I'll find my soulmate, why not do it? I prayed about it and all. And ended up, I feel like I found him, which is crazy to say. I know.
That's awesome.
I'm probably like, what? But it's the most real thing I've ever felt. And so it was nice to finally have that validation, like you said.
And a boyfriend after 3 years. This is good. We're finally like, getting those commitment issues taken care of.
I can't really say.
Apparently, I need to be on Sweet Home Alabama, by the way, because I'm like 3 weeks in. I'm like, what's happening? She's going to make me change my furniture. And then I'm like, out. That's a weird way for me to be like committed out. But furniture is usually the one I think of. I'm like, I like my stuff. So anyway, just pray for me, Paige.
Okay.
All right, so we'll watch throughout the season, and we'll see as you lean toward a city boy or a country boy. And you didn't tell us yet which one you went for overall.
That's part of the fun.
That is half the fun. Tomorrow night, or maybe tonight, or maybe it already aired. I don't know when you're watching this video. Friday, the 13th of January, 2012, 9 p.m. on CMT. Sweet Home Alabama with Paige Duke.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for coming
9
in.
o'clock Eastern time, and so Pacific time too out here. So we'll be a little later.
8 o'clock Central.
That's right.
It's probably 7-ish.
Yeah, and it's a 2-hour premiere, so get you some popcorn. It's like going to be a movie.
Okay.
So it'll be fun.
Just like Reese Witherspoon.
And like you said, we're on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama CMT is our Facebook, and then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook too, and I'll keep you updated.
We'll put all that stuff. I assume that Brad will do. It's already. He said it's already on.
I'll be tweeting like while I'm watching it because I like to see what everybody says. Good. And I don't know. I like Twitter.
What's your Twitter name?
Paige_Duke.
Okay, at Paige_Duke.
And I looked up yours, but you haven't tweeted in like 300 days.
Oh, you found the wrong one. We'll show you the right one. Yeah, there's one that's like this nonsense Twitter page that I made up. No. Just put at Ty Bentley, and then that's the one. All right, thank you, Paige.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.